Okay, starting take 2 in 3, 2, 1. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kilkenny Chronicle podcast. This is something new we're trying, and kind of the point of it is to tell a story about Kilkennys and the different types of people who come in and tell their story and how their stories kind of intertwine with the story of Kilkennys. We've been around for a long time, and each person who comes in is kind of unique in their own way, and I don't know. I think it would be cool to tell their stories. Anyways, we're going to start today by interviewing the great helmsman himself, the man that's responsible for keeping our pub afloat in the treacherous waters of the pandemic. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my good friend and our general manager, Mr. Erick Dyer.
Hello.
Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm well, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Talking to the mic there.
Oops. Boom. Even better.
All right, and we are actually at Eric's house right now. You can see he's a bit of an alcoholic with all this stuff in the background. So I'd like to
What
thank.
it takes to be a good GM.
Yeah, it is. You got to
Yeah,
sample.
sample all my stuff. That's
Yeah,
right.
you're like the American gangster of pubs. All right, so I'd like to first start off by thanking you for your time. You're a busy man. I see you put in work every day. And so I've known you for about a year and a half. You hired me about a year and a half ago, right after I moved to Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Worst thing I ever did.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Likewise.
Yeah.
So you have a long history with the pub. You've only been the GM for what, a year or two?
Well, about a year and a half. I think like November of 2019.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right. Well, it's 2021. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, about a year and a half.
All right. Mathematics. Okay. So I wanted to start off by talking about just letting the audience know what's your background, how did you get into the service industry, and kind of what led you to this point.
Sure. So I think I was like 14 years old. I started kind of working pretty early. So I started working when I was about 14,
Mm-hmm.
and once I got into high school, I realized like I really like working in restaurants. I had an art teacher who was friends with the girls who owned the Wild Fork. So she got me an interview, got me a job at the Wild Fork, and I dug it. I love the pace. I love everything about it. I was a back waiter for a really long time, and then so I mean, man, that was almost 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That I've been just bouncing around, and I landed at Kilkenny's when I was 21. And then I've been here ever since. I had taking other little part-time jobs every so often, but I started out as a server and then bartended for a while, and then I left for about a year to go be the food and beverage director at the Hotel Indigo,
Mm-hmm.
and then did that for about a year, learned really really great things, and then sat down, met with Brett, and told him I'd like to come back in that capacity, and so he was really happy to have me come back, and so I did, and so here I am. And then that first year is obviously so I've been doing it for about a year and a half, and
Yeah.
threw me into the fire for sure.
Oh yeah, with the whole pandemic thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good taste of some management.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, overall, been managing for probably about it's only probably a little over 5 years or so, but it's always felt like I had a pretty decent little knack for it.
Yeah. So because when I see you work, you're working 7 days a week. Even if you're not actually at the pub, you're on call.
Mm-hmm.
I've called you at probably 6 o'clock in the morning and with power going out, and I've seen like 11 o'clock at night, people are having babies and they need to leave, and you need to come fill in their shoes. Thanks, James.
Yeah.
But I was wondering, what is the most, or how do you balance your work and your personal life? Because also we work with Sarah, your wife,
Mm-hmm.
who does the HR for us and also for Nola's across
Mm-hmm.
the street. So how do you kind of balance that?
So, I mean, it is tough because I do think, having a personal life is important, to be able to balance, like you said. So it is tough. You just have to kind of, in the beginning, I tried to take everything on my shoulders and I tried to be here all the time. And, let people know that, because you kind of want to prove yourself too. Like, hey, I'm a hard worker. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to do all this. And, so it's kind of tough. It's more tough in the beginning. You want, it's not like you just want to, come in a couple months into a job and take a vacation,
Yeah.
So you really want to let them know that you're the good man for the job, quote unquote. But I think you just have to kind of let people know, like, hey, you're going to, do everything that you need to do and be everything that you need them to be. But at the same time, like, hey, I gotta hit my kids, whenever,
Yeah, you gotta hit them.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah,
sometimes they just deserve it.
You just gotta hit the kids. You know? No, I mean, you gotta be there for,
don't
like,
worry about that.
you gotta be there for their, their plays or their sporting events, and if your wife needs a date, you just gotta date her.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as far as like her and I working together, it's. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, it's really hasn't had as many challenging moments as I thought it would. I mean, we've gotten into a couple, yelling matches in the office once or twice, but for the most part, I mean, we're on the same page a lot about a lot of things, and so there's not really, we're not really at odds about a lot of things, but we just, if we are, we just find ourselves, one of us defers to the other, and then we're just trying to be as mature about it as possible.
Which is tough for you.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, because I'm always right.
Yeah.
So, no. Yeah, I mean, and we in our whole marriage, we've been married about 10 years, and we've never really wanted a whole lot of time off together. So we're kind of weird like that. So it's fine. I mean, we do spend like 23 hours a day, 7 days a week together.
Yeah.
We haven't killed each other yet. So.
Well, congratulations on
give
that.
Us time. Yeah, give us time.
Yeah. Sarah's awesome. She's really the glue that holds all of us together. So
she's a stud for sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. Here, I want to here, put that on your lap or something. I think it's gonna vibrate onto the thing.
Okay, I just muted it.
Sweet. All right. So, what would you say has been your biggest challenge as a GM? Because we've had this pandemic, so I'm sure that has something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, facing a once in a lifetime global pandemic is it's going to be up there for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's obviously, I'm sure we'll talk plenty about that, but I mean, that seems like kind of the obvious answer. I would say, aside from that, when, like I kind of mentioned earlier, like when you come in, you want to prove yourself and you want to be, like I said, you want to prove yourself to be a hardworking guy who's going to do always the right thing and all that, which was, I mean, that was really tough. But, everyone who was not in a position of leadership is going to look to leadership and say, hey, if I ever become boss, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And I mean, I wasn't any different. When I took over, there was a lot of things I wanted to change, and there were a lot of things I saw that could be improved. Some worked and some didn't, but implementing all the new things that I wanted to implement and try to make everything work. And, some were my idea and some weren't, but still keeping people excited about their job and happy about their job while also trying to make things a bit more cohesive and, streamlined. Man, it is tough, because you want people to, I mean, if you're introducing new rules and new procedures and new, ways of doing things from, I've been here for 12 years and, but I've only been the GM for a year and a half. So there's 18 and a half years almost that people have been doing things one way.
Yeah.
And for me to come in and be like, hey, we're going to do this way. Going about doing that, not just once or twice, but like, 5 or 6, 7 times. It's been really kind of tough. So, but I feel like I've done a pretty good job with it. I feel like people haven't really, retaliated all that bad. So.
Well, and we're still open.
Yeah.
So we got.
I haven't done it too poorly.
We got that going for us.
Yeah. I haven't closed the restaurant down. Yeah. God willing.
Yeah. So what was, to go back to the pandemic, what was, I remember when that all started and man, that was it. The whole year sucked kind of starting out. Kobe. Yeah. It started off with Kobe. And R.I.P. Some people might have said it started off a couple years ago with Harambe, but
yeah,
I don't know. But I think
all been just downhill from there.
Yeah, but I think, man, after Kobe, I mean, everyone was kind of rattled after that, and then then I remember when I remember just working in the pub, and then like we saw in the news in China, they had this virus going around, and everyone was just kind of joking about it. And I mean, I'd have guests come in and be like, "Oh, don't get the COVID" and stuff like that. And it was
people didn't. I mean, people didn't know how to take it. I don't remember what year it was exactly, but they had like the SARS outbreak or the the swine flu outbreak or H1N1. And it seemed people got kind of scared, and then it just kind of went away after a few months. And so I remember. I think it got real for me, and I think it might have kind of got real for a lot of people when the NBA season shut down. When sports were like, nope, nope, we're not doing this anymore. Because I think I was out like bowling with one of our managers, Martin, and and of course I'm on the phone like constantly, just like, hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Talking to other restaurants and all that stuff, and that's the craziest thing about this whole thing is everything changed day to day. No one knew anything, but that day was like, oh my God, like this is happening. I think that was a couple of days before St. Patrick's Day, and then St. Patrick's Day was the day it was like, oh, yep, shut it all down. And people were scared. So, I think it's just like, you just take it day by day. That's just been my whole thing going into it is just, cause on that day it was like, okay, well, let's just get through this day and then we'll figure out afterwards. And I think, it was shortly thereafter where we went into just to-go's, curbside only. We shut down and, dine in eating.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. I remember that, like you said about when they shut down the NBA. I was working that night, and I remember that because Oklahoma City was gonna play, and then
the Utah Jazz, and then one of their players tested positive. They shut it down. I think they shut down like a couple of more games around there, and then the next day they just stopped the season. Yeah, it was just like, what just kind of let everyone know. That's how sports is to people, but. It just let people know, hey man, like this is real. This is a real legit thing. This is a legit thing, and it's made its way to us. You know what I mean? And but so it's kind of what made it real to us. But I mean, St. Patrick's Day obviously is a huge deal for us. So we had kind of known, and I had been talking to city officials and just different people around, like people that we use for porta potties and for tents and for benches and for tables and chairs, and like as far as I know, we're still doing this. And then I think it was maybe like 3 days before St. Patrick's Day, I was really like, hey, are we really doing this? Like, are we really gonna do this? Like, it doesn't seem very wise to be doing this. There's no way they're gonna allow us to do this. Yeah. And then so I think it ended up being like 3 days before they were like, no, we're not going to let you do anything outside. And I was like, okay, they finally let us know. So I had to make all those phone calls and cancel all of our tents and chairs and tables and all that. And we ended up doing it inside, similar to what we're going to do this year. Yeah. And it was just kind of, feel almost surreal. Like I'm gonna remember walking through the restaurant on St. Patrick's Day at Kilkenny's at like 7:00, and it was just like when we had open tables. It was weird, but people were scared.
I know.
I was scared.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous, and everyone was walking around the pub like, just it kind of hit everybody all at once. Like the OKC game, that it hit everyone, and they're like, what? Because the servers, they're not getting, like, they don't get salary, they get hourly, and basically they just live off of tips.
Yeah, and they look forward to that day for a long time. Yeah. Because that's a day you pay off some car payments, and Yeah. So, it's just, and it's just weird. I know people were, I'm sure obviously some people were scared for their health and well-being, and I know that there was a health concern, but also it was like, oh my God, like if they're going to shut down St. Patrick's Day, what else are they going to shut down? And what does our future look like? And so I know people had questions and questions and questions and questions. And I didn't know the answer, luckily Sarah, she all she did was read and study and call. And, she was so good about that. So
well, at least one of you can read. That's good.
It's going to be a job requirement going forward, I think. The next GM's going to have to know how to read. So yeah, it was just nuts. I think I mean, going into it, we just knew, okay, we're going to take it day by day. Like I mentioned before, like no one knew anything. It just, and all the information changed. I think it was just like, okay, let's just clean everything all the time. Let's just always clean. I think once we ended up doing, so we shut down, we switched to curbside and to-goes, and, we were doing family meals and all that. And I think you were running our social media by that point. So, really like pumping it hard, like, hey, family meals and curbside and to-goes. And because no one was coming in, we just cleaned the pub from top to bottom. We just scrubbed everything. Each day was, scrubbing something. And, I was in there scrubbing, and I was asking everyone else to scrub too. And,
we got deep in the crevices.
Oh man.
We got all up
that
in
pub's
there.
never been cleaner. It's been 20 years of build up in some of those places.
Oh yeah. We got it all.
Yeah, we got it all. And so obviously once we learn a bit more about what to do and what not to do, and some things may not be necessary, so we've changed a little bit about what we need to do as everyone else. But we redid the kitchen while we were closed, and kind of made that look a little bit nicer and cleaner, and then opened back up, implemented a new POS system, which was kind of nice.
Oh yeah.
And then then it's just take it day by day. I mean, and over the past, I don't know, because we thought this was going to be over in last July.
I remember when it started, people were like, "Oh, can you believe it? We're going to be shut down for 2 weeks."
Yeah, yeah. Well, and then it was like, well, we might open up in July. Well, we might open up in August, and then it's like, when? I wonder if we're going to open up before Christmas. And it's like, yeah, probably. And it's like, well, no, not.
Yeah.
And so now it's July 4th. I mean, is what they're saying. So I don't know, man. That's why instead of trying to look to the future and think when's it going to happen, we just take it day by day. That's all we can really do. Just take the information that we're giving, just have people be calm and relaxed, and still just be as healthy and safe as possible.
Yeah. And what's kind of been like the reaction from the public?
I feel like most part, like overall, it's been really good. And I think the only time we've ever really gotten negative feedback is when, and I mean, and we'll talk a little bit about this later too, I think, but if we don't enforce the policies as much, we can kind of, our staff can get overran a little bit. And so then we'll have, negative pushback from people saying like, well, why is there too many people at the bar? It's like, well, yeah, you go tell them to not do it. You know what I mean? Try telling that guy to leave the bar. No, I feel like, obviously you're going to have, there's people on either side of the aisle. I think our policy and our thought process has always been, if we do the safe thing and we do the smart thing, or not the smart thing, I shouldn't say that, but if we do the safe thing and we're wrong, and all of it was for nothing, blah, 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 then you know what, that sucks. And I'm really sorry. We didn't let as many people into the pub, and that sucks. But if we're on the other side of that and we were wrong, then, that's worse, It's worse. It's worse for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
those are some consequences.
Yeah. So, there's been people mad that we don't take reservations, or that we don't, aren't letting as many people in the pub, that we're not doing a street party, or we're not doing live music, or all that kind of stuff. And I know it sucks. I'm as disappointed as anybody, but in the end, we gotta do that. We're just gonna we're gonna always err on the side of caution.
Yeah. And I mean, everyone's disappointed. Like, people come in and they're disappointed that we have some of these rules going on, and I don't know if they realize or not, but it hurts us too. Especially if the servers go from having maybe 5 tables, 6 tables, and maybe they'll have big parties at 20, like back in the before times. I mean, that's how they make their living, and having less customers means it's a lot harder to pay your bills. Right. And I know a lot of people, we're fortunate at the pub we have so much support from the local community that we're getting by, and our servers they're doing okay, I think. It's been rough, but
yeah. And I mean, like the last month or so has been, a resurgence. I mean, we've, we're doing numbers that even social distancing and being safe. we're doing numbers pre-pandemic, like higher than which has been crazy, but
yeah.
No. And so I mean, but during all that time, I mean, like you said, our community was, oh my God, it was so crazy. Like I remember when we first started doing the to-go thing, we were, the first responders and the frontline workers in the hospitals and stuff. We started doing like, what did we do? Half off meals or 20% off meals or something like that.
We did a discount for
it was a crazy discount.
Hospital workers and stuff.
And, because we wanted to pay back them. But man, our community was, oh my God, they were so amazing. They were, $100 tips and, big orders or coming to us to provide meals for, hospital workers and things like that. But, yeah, I mean, like in the end, our sales in the restaurant were the hurt them. I mean, we got crushed, we were down millions.
Yeah.
Between both restaurants in 2020, they're down millions. Like that's nothing to sneeze at,
Yeah.
And so every decision we made was, we made every decision for the health of the safety to the sales detriment. But what do you get? We can't be greedy. We can't, so.
And you also, at the same time, because there's some people suggested that we close down altogether, and we can't do that either, because people depend on our servers, our cooks. They're depending on us to make a living, and I don't know, like it's not like we've been getting a bunch of support from the government.
Yeah.
Like we had $600 last summer?
On the employee front, and on ours. Yeah, it's all. The best thing that we can do for the community is stay open. But for our servers, for our hosts, for our bartenders, and for our kitchen staff, this is their livelihood. They don't make tips. If we're closed, that they don't make any money.
Yeah, and that's all on you too as a GM. Like between you and Brett trying to make these decisions, and it's not easy. No. I'm sure it's not easy.
No. Well, and that kind of brings us into like with Snowmageddon, couple of couple weeks ago. Snowpocalypse, a month ago. But we are, and I think our bar manager said this really eloquently, but like, we're supposed to stay open. Like we're going to always stay open because that's what a pub is. It's a public house. It's a community center. So like no matter what, if you're stuck at home, like someone will come get you, and that we're going to be open. And so same through the pandemic is, we got to stay open. So if that means that I have to work every shift for a week because people are sick or people are scared, then that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah,
it's what and then I'm gonna take like a 2-month vacation after that. So
yeah, that's gonna be sweet. Yeah, I think from what I could tell, most people really appreciate that, and most people are pretty cooperative and understanding. And I don't know, we're
100%. 95% of people have been so incredible, and so man, it's really you've seen the best side of humanity over the past year and a half. You've also seen the worst.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, but most people, man, truly are like, it just makes it really special.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I know I'm happy to be a part of just this, especially because we're not just a normal restaurant either. We're, like you said, we are a community center, and people they do rely on us, and not just our staff, but the whole community, and even as far as being cooped up at home, and mental health is such an issue, especially with this pandemic. So if people have a place to go where they can come, they can have a pint, and also be socially distanced. Some people don't really care. Some people are not worried about it, but some people are, and we're looking out for them too. And
yeah.
So you can come in, you can have a pint, you can talk to the bartender, or just kind of blow off some steam. And I think that's a huge part of being a human.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, if you're if you're black or you're white, or if you're an OU fan or an OSU fan, it doesn't matter. You can come sit at the bar. Those differences just don't mean as much, when you're sitting down talking whatever you want to talk about. You know? And our staff does a really, really good job with that. And that's just, it's what Kilkenny's is. It's just, it's a place for old or young, fun or boring. It doesn't matter who you are. It's just, I don't know. There's something for everybody. There's a lot to be said for that.
If you're boring, we love you too.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Maybe we love you more. It depends. So now that hopefully, fingers crossed, the pandemic's winding down, people are getting vaccinated, and it seems like the vaccines are working. We're having, January was 4,000 cases a day. Now we're down to 200 a day, I think, is last I heard.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah. The numbers are looking awesome. And I think you're starting to see, the good numbers are looking a lot better and the bad numbers are looking a lot worse, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I think, we still just follow that same mantra. We take it day by day. And, if they tell us we can open back up safely, then, that's what we'll try to do. Keeping the guest's best interest at heart. I just wish, I wish it would have been over a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I wish it would have never happened, but all you can do is just make the best of it. And so I think as it starts to kind of wind down and, as long as we're doing everything safely, and I think the most important thing is going to be giving the people who still are a little bit nervous, giving them an opportunity to still kind of distance a little bit and still feel kind of safe. Let them kind of still feel, have that sense of safety a bit more so than we already actually are. I think that's going to be really important going forward. And then people who just want to say, F it, and sneeze on each other. Let them do that, and we'll just play it up after them.
They used to do.
Yeah, like back in the old days. And I was thinking about this the other day. Somebody brought this up a couple weeks ago. But birthday cakes with candles in it.
Yeah.
You just blow all over it, and then everyone would eat it. You serve it. Oh, it's so weird. I don't some things I don't think we'll ever go back to. It's so weird. So.
And even if they do, you're always going to have that thought in the back of your mind.
Oh, God, nasty. We've watched so many videos of spray patterns and talking and stuff, so I don't think our lives will ever go back.
Spray patterns?
Yeah, it's something I've never thought I'd have to talk about.
It's rough out here. So what is, we have St. Patrick's Day coming up on Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wednesday. So, and we aren't doing our big block party. Since I'm doing the social media stuff, we get a lot of questions about, are we doing something special on St. Patrick's Day? And I was hoping you could let everyone know. And
we've got hundreds of thousands of calls about it. Similar to what we did last year, we're just going to err on the side of caution, like we've said. As much as we would have loved to have, a block party and trust that everyone would social distance and wear a mask and be safe. We know people, it's just not going to happen when you get in big groups of people like that. And so, we're just going to have to kind of take it in our own hands and just do the safe thing. So, we're still going to be open. Obviously, we're planning on being loud and fun and busy, and we'll have, we'll open up all the taps of kegs of Guinness and and have a good time. We want to be fun, but we just got to be safe too. So our tables will still be social distanced. We're still going to require masks. We're still going to wash up and do all those kind of same things that we're supposed to be doing. But, people can have a good time in their own little pods, in the pub. And I'm sure the bar will get rowdy, so people can still have a good time. We'll try to enforce the door a little bit more, than normal. But, I know that there are. We didn't want to be greedy. It felt greedy to open up outside and have a big block party. It felt wrong.
Yeah, and also, that takes so much planning, and I'm sure you have to get permits and plan in advance. And a month ago, we're peaking. The pandemic was peaking. So
sure.
How do you even plan that?
Exactly. There's ways to do it, and there's ways around it, and and there's things you can figure out. But yeah, I didn't think 2 months ago there's no way that we're going to be ready for a big old Kilkenny style block party, because it's the biggest in the city. We have thousands of people just crowded around outside listening to music and hanging out and drinking, and so. But I think the plan is when everything feels comfortable, when I know like even the most hardened of people who are, sheltering themselves, I think when they feel comfortable coming out, I think we'll be ready to do, we'll do a giant block party, a big old thank you to the community. We'll have, it'll be St. Patrick's Day, but in, August or September or something, it'll just be a half birthday for St. Patrick's Day. And just a big old, just a thank you to the community, and we'll put on a big old party. That's the plan.
Yeah, I think September, Sept Patrick's Day.
Patrick's Day. Okay,
that's gonna be a thing.
I'll let you be. You're the creative here. Man.
Yeah,
you figure that out.
Yeah, real creative.
Yeah.
All right, so we got all that pandemic stuff out of the way, and everyone's sick of hearing about that, I'm sure.
True.
But we just wanted to give our own thoughts on it and the pub's perspective, because I don't think people have an opportunity to really hear that, especially if they're not following us on Facebook.
Right. Well, and you can only put so many things on Facebook, and you can't really put your full thoughts in,
Yeah.
Because, everybody's Facebook page wants to convey that they care, but, it doesn't always feel that way.
Yeah. Yeah. But we do care. So always care. So, on a lighter note, so we've been open for 20 years, and we've been open for about 20 years, and you said you've been involved with Kilkenny's on and off for about 12.
Oh yeah, when I was 12, not when I was 12 years old, for 12 years when I was 21. I started bartending. I was flipping burgers and pouring Guinness. Yes, for 12 years, and I've worked there for 12 years. I took about a year break when I went to go to the hotel, but that was about it. So
what was, out of all those years, what was your fondest? Do you have your best memory? Because I'm sure you have a lot.
Yeah, it's so crazy. For 12 years, and like every day is something a little different. There's something's always happening at Kilkenny's, man.
Yeah.
Because when I started, I was a 21-year-old. Like, I was a kid, and all I do, I came to work, and then I drank, and then I passed out, and I came back to work. You know what I mean? And so I think what Kilkenny's is to me is, I obviously I've spent a third of my life there, but it was a growing up period to me, was my time at Kilkenny's. And so I think my fondest memory, and I was actually talking to Sarah about this recently, but when I had my youngest son, who is about to turn 10, he's 9 right now. Because I have amazing regulars at Kilkenny's, and after he was born, I think like 2 days after he was born, I wanted to bring him up and show, like, I had a crew that came in on Friday nights, and so that memory of like walking through the door and being like mobbed by these people, and them, just passing around a baby, in a pub, like getting up a beer in one hand and like my child in the other one. Just that feeling and that memory was really, 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 it was amazing to me. I think about that a lot, and I cherish that and those people, who obviously they're still in my life, but I've had like at his baby shower were the same people, and like John Shannon was drinking apple juice out of a baby bottle, like, he could chug it fastest. That was really good, but it wasn't in the pub, so it was second place.
Are you sure it was apple juice?
It was maybe spiked.
Yeah,
spiked
Jameson looks a lot like apple juice.
No, there's been crazy things too, but that to me is the one that I hold really special to me, because that's like, it's like a moment that kind of signifies what Kilkenny's is to me. Like, it's a place where I grew up, and I know I'm not the only person.
Oh yeah, I've been there for only a year and a half, and that kind of feeling is what kind of I didn't realize that's how it was going to be when I got hired, obviously, but after working there just a month or two, just having that feeling of it feels like a family, really. The staff, because most people have been there for years and years and years. Some people have been there since we've opened, and among the staff and then the regulars, some of them have been coming in since we've opened.
Oh,
and
for sure.
It just feels kind of,
well, when you've known people for 20 years, like, no matter, they're family, like them or not, those people are family,
Yeah.
And I've known I mean, I've spent more time with the people that have worked here than I have with, I can, in my life, more people like than most people in my family, save for like mom and dad and my wife. Like I've known them longer than my youngest son. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. I mean, but those people are family. And the regulars are our family, cause I mean, I've spent a ton of time with them. The people that I work with are family. So, and that's what Kilkenny's is more than any other restaurant I've ever seen or been in. It's insane.
Well, it's an Irish pub. That's even just I've been just reading about Irish pubs in general, and that's the
nerd.
Yeah, I know. But that's what a big part of it is. I mean, people come for years and years and years, and it's not even just to drink. They just come in to be with their close friends, and it's kind of like a meeting place. Like, I mean, we have the gathering place, but Kilkenny's is also a gathering place maybe for adults. But
yeah.
Kids too. But what would you say? So that's your fondest memory, and I know a lot of crazy stuff. I've seen crazy stuff in the year and a half I've been there. So what would you say is about the craziest thing you've experienced or even heard it? Like if you weren't there yourself.
Yeah. Man. Well, some stuff, most stuff I don't want to put on a podcast. That'll be for, we'll like the Joe Rogan style podcast.
Oh yeah.
But the Howard Stern style podcast. No, like the most, I guess, PG or PG even 13 story.
If you're 12 years old, you're mother right now. Please.
Yeah, no. There was and I'll leave all the names out of it, but there was a guy who was, pretty decent regular, of course, and kind of picks a fight outside of Kilkenny's, which, it happens. That happens sometimes. He runs through the restaurant, grabs someone, and was like, "Hey, I need you to hide me." So we take him through the kitchen, throw him in the back of one of our employees' trucks, and he just hides in the back of a truck. That was a pretty good day because it was just chaotic, and it happened within 30 seconds. So if you missed it, you just missed it, and you're like, what was that?
Yeah.
So I mean, that was pretty good. I mean, man, we've had we've had proposals, we've had breakups, we've had there's been naughtiness, there's been fights, there's been everything at Kilkenny's, man. If you haven't seen anything interesting, just wait. That's the motto.
Some naughtiness.
Yeah, that's the motto. So it's crazy.
Some late night naughty folks coming in.
Yeah. We gotta Hawkeyes, man. We gotta keep an eye out for it. It's crazy. Like I said, if you haven't seen anything crazy, just wait.
Yeah.
That's a pub.
That's the pub.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering if you could. That's probably. I think we've gone over quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah.
So, kind of ending things here. I have a couple more questions for you. One, I was wondering, we're doing this Kilkenny Savings Bond program. I was wondering if you could. So it's on Facebook, and we've been getting good feedback from it.
Sure.
For anyone who hasn't seen it, can you explain what we're doing?
So we kind of came up with this idea to, back in World War I, World War II, the government, released bonds for people where you could essentially invest in the government. You give them money up front. Those bonds mature over time and gain interest or whatnot. So we kind of thought it would be neat to do that same kind of thing where we sell you a bond for X amount of dollars, so $25, and then we set a maturation date and then maturation number on it. So our bonds after every 3 months gain 10%. So if you buy a $25 bond, next,
let's do 100. 100's easier math.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we got $100 bond. After 3 months becomes $110 because it matures 10%, and then after that it's $120, $130, and after a year it becomes $140. So which is really, really cool. They've been really, really popular. I think we only have left some $25 bonds. I think we maybe have 1 or 2 50s left, and a couple of thousands.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, and then the because it only matures up to 1 year, right?
correct. Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
So if you bought $100 bond, then it'll
But yeah,
be...
you just gain like $50, like it's, or, or $40. Like it's just for sitting on it. You know? So for us, and I mean back in the world, those World War I, World War II times, the risk was the government might shut down, and so the risk for people is, well, Kilkenny's might shut down, but I mean, Kilkenny's isn't going to shut down. So it was a nice little boost of cash for us right now, in a pandemic when we could need it, but also for the guests, it's like, well, you're going to spend your money here anyway, so you might as well just redeem it for a gift card and just make a little bit of extra money.
And if you got the $1,000, because we do have a couple more of those, that's after a year,
$400.
$400 for Kilkenny's.
Yeah.
You could have like a blowout party, and in a year it's going to be time for blowout parties.
Oh, so. for sure. Oh man, can you imagine dropping like $1,400 at St. Patrick's Day?
Oh man.
Hold on.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right.
Oops.
Eric had to go take care of his dog, but we're back now. Finish this thing out.
Hopefully some creative editing.
Oh, creativity. Yeah. Math and creativity. That's what I'm all about.
Yeah, your
baby.
strong suits.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the savings bond. I can imagine in a year. I mean, when everything is just like COVID-19 is an afterthought. Man, having $1,400, just that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we still got a couple, so hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Let's get it done, folks.
Yeah, we started with 50 bonds because we wanted to make it kind of a limited thing. We didn't want to just do too many, and I think we have 2,000s left, and I think maybe like 9 $25 ones.
Yeah. So and can you buy more than one?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So if you wanted $100 worth, you could just buy 4 of the 25s. Quite a few people do that.
And actually, like the bond itself, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Like it looks it looks good enough. Like if I were to get one, which I still might, since we have $25 ones, and I'm broke as a joke. But if I might get one, I don't know, it would look good framed up on your wall.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's got Brett's picture on it,
Yeah.
so you could have him smiling.
Yeah,
down at you.
there have been a few people that have told me they're just gonna frame it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you do you, man.
Yeah. And
break in case of emergency kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm thirsty, man.
Yeah.
But you can, if you wanted to frame it and keep it, you can still, my understanding is you just need that serial number off of it to redeem it, right?
Yeah, that'd work.
So you can so you can still hold on to the actual piece of paper as a souvenir, which I think looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But this is my very last question for you.
Okay.
And it's a question you've asked me at least one time, and you've asked everybody at least multiple times. If you can choose 3 condiments and you can only have 3 that you live for, that you have for the rest of your life, you can only use these 3 condiments. Not condoms, condiments. What would you choose?
Oh man. So it's tough because you got to think. So the original question, like if you could turn your 5 fingers into like condiment, any condiment could shoot out, so you could have unlimited. And so, but it's tough because you cook with these too. Mm-hmm. And so, it's got to be soy sauce for one. I don't know that I could live with. I don't think I could. Man, it's tough. It's so tough.
You kind of seem like a ketchup guy to me.
Oh no, not a big ketchup guy. I could live without a lot of these things, but if you have mayonnaise, you can make a lot of things. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess I could just make my own mayonnaise.
Yeah, but you can't make your own. You just have to choose 3.
Well, but
it doesn't. You can't make your own.
All right, so I'm gonna go mayonnaise, soy sauce, and then
mayonnaise for your mayonnaise sandwich.
Yeah, just mayonnaise and soy sauce and ham. No, and then I gotta have like a hot sauce, so I'm gonna have to go like Cholula or Frank's.
That's
I'm not a big
both pretty good.
sriracha guy.
Yeah, no Tapatio.
Ooh.
Do you have Tapatio in Oklahoma?
I know. Yeah, I've seen it. I mean, I've had it before. So, or maybe I haven't had it in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
But No, yeah, it's tough, man. You're really like boxing me in with 3. 5 is hard enough. I've had knockdown dragouts with 5.
Yeah.
So
was the original question 5?
Yeah, because it was your 5 fingers. Your 5 fingers were condiment dispensers.
Well, I'll give you a
for
couple
the rest
more.
of your life. No, man. Now I've already overthought it.
So soy sauce, mayonnaise,
and we'll go Frank's. I like Frank's.
Frank's is pretty
red
good.
hot sauce.
Yeah, hot sauce.
Sauce.
How
So-
saucy.
Yeah. No, man. This has been really great.
All right.
Good job, buddy.
Well, thank you. So thank you for your time, Eric. Like I said, he's a busy man, so
Thanks for having me.
getting him wrangled in was a bit of a challenge, but
Back to work.
Yeah, we got you. And for our audience, I would like to say, if you like this podcast and you'd like to see more, even if you hated it, go down, smash the like button, leave a comment. One thing I was going to say is, so for now it's called the Kilkenny Chronicles podcast, which is a great name, obviously, since I can say it.
Obviously.
But if our audience has any cooler ideas, that's what we're calling it for now. But if you have a cool idea for a name for our podcast,
Throw some suggestions out there.
yeah, I wanted to call it Pub Tales, but I think there's already something called Pub Tales, and it may or may not be in Greek. So I'm not sure. Maybe we could use it because I went to the website and it's all in like some crazy alphabet. So I don't know, but maybe we could use that too. And then, so yeah, share this with your friends. And if you're not already following us on Facebook or Instagram, I recommend you do that because especially on Facebook, we put out a lot of information about what we're doing. And during the pandemic, it's a good thing to follow just so you know what's going on because things change, like you said, every single day. So,
on different promotions, different, all the kind of things that we like to get everybody involved in. You know, pop up on Facebook too.
Yep. So follow us there. And yeah, if we get enough positive feedback from this podcast, if we're lucky, we'll be able to get the big man himself. We'll get Brett, the owner, and that guy's a real hoot. So I really hope we get a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, you have to do a 4-part podcast on him.
Yeah.
Dude likes to hear himself talk.
Four parts, 4 hours each.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You'll learn something.
You'll learn something about birds or fishing or,
or birds and fishing.
Yeah, fishing for birds.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a trip, man.
So,
but he knows how to make a good restaurant.
Yeah, he does. So, all right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for listening, and hopefully we'll see you next time. So, until then.
Thanks, guys.
Sláinte. Right? Sláinte.
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 Yeah, you nailed it. Cheers.
Cheers.